So what do you think? What should we talk about?
I think we should. I had the idea of comedy rock, so maybe that'll be today's topic.
Is that like a popular thing that people talk about?
I don't know.
It's something you.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay, so today, welcome, by the way. Even though this is not a show, I'm glad you're joining us. I'm here with my great friend. This is Ready-Made, and we're going to talk. What you said you want to talk about comedy rock.
Yeah, comedy rock.
What's comedy rock?
Comedy rock to me it's just the rock and roll that happens to be comedic in some way or some form.
Rock and roll. It's right there, right here.
Right.
Under the cat.
Under the cat.
Rock and heart.
Yeah.
No. Rock and roll that's like comedic.
Yeah.
Give me some examples.
I'd start with not everybody's. I don't know if everybody would start with this person, but I'd say one of the main people I think of when comedy rock is brought up is Frank Zappa.
Frank Zappa? I thought you were going to say somebody like, I guess the one I know most is, what's his name? He does all those parody.
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Yeah.
But Frank Zappa?
I always think Frank Zappa and Weird Al as the main, the starting two at least.
Frank Zappa. I know nothing about, I know he's an old man. No, not old man. He is what I would consider back in the
70s and 60s.
So classic rock era.
Classic rock era, comedy rock, kind of, if that makes any sense.
What made it comedic?
Just the way he talked about different things and the just very weird music where at certain points in the song the time signature will change from 4/4 to 5/6 or something, and the way he presents lyrics, the way he talks about subjects, is very comedic. But at the same time, you can also take kind of seriously in the sense of it being a concept album or just being a concept in general.
Yet I'm the slime oozing out from your... Take it away, Don Pardo!
You will obey me while I lead you and eat the garbage that I feed you until the day that we don't need you. Don't go for help. No one will heed you. Your mind is totally controlled.
Okay. Now, like a concept album, does that mean? I mean, that's basically just you're trying to do it a certain way. You have this one concept that you're sticking everything. It's not about the rock. It's about the idea.
It's about the concept of whatever you're thinking. The concept of, like, take example of Pink Floyd's The Wall, one of my favorite albums, where the concept is about loneliness and despair and having to reflect on your childhood that was odd, or just having to reflect on your past.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there is some really out there stuff.
Well, so who else? Okay, so Frank Zappa. Who's the one I said?
Weird Al.
Weird Al, right?
Of course, you gotta mention Weird Al.
He's probably the most popular one, right?
Oh, probably. I mean, when I think of comedy, even comedy music in general is probably that's probably the most popular artist. I don't know if I can think of anybody else. Maybe The Lonely Island.
That would be like more recent. Somebody who's actually making music right now. Well, Weird Al's still making music.
Weird Al was making music back in 2014, and then
he hasn't
made anything since. But he did appear on John Oliver the other night.
Let's name some. So Frank Zappa, he had some. What I hear is Frank Zappa had some chord changes, but just in the way he did music. Maybe he had, you said he had weird instruments?
There were a ton of weird instruments. Xylophones.
Bells?
Xylophones, he did use bells. Early drum machines. He did a lot of different recording tricks too.
Oh, like what do you mean?
He would like layer different songs on top of each other to create one different song, which he's not the first one to absolutely do it, but he did it in a way that's somewhat popular nowadays.
Maybe this is like prog rock that took music and tried to add meaning with like fantasy ideas. That was concept music.
Well, yeah, like Rush is a big example of
Rush.
this concept going to different places.
Yeah, those were the concept. That was the concept music that was like sort of growing, but maybe Frank Zappa
kind of took
like
it a weird,
light level,
a very odd level of sexual and political themes.
Oh.
So there are. I mean, it's not all that, but
Yeah.
there's some odd ones that include politics of the time.
So he was probably somebody that influenced somebody like Spinal Tap or something.
Oh, I could see. I mean, if it wasn't for Frank Zappa, I don't think we would have Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap is basically a concept.
Oh, yeah.
The concept of making fun or making their own metal band out of a group of comedians.
Yeah, that was like a movie.
And that was a movie.
But they helped.
But they actually played the songs.
Yeah, and they helped influence what's his name, Tenacious D.
Tenacious D.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Spinal Tap no doubt did inspire Tenacious D in many ways.
What's his name?
Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black is actually quite relevant today, I'd say.
Yeah,
Still.
I think Tenacious D still tours and.
Do they have a new album or no?
Not yet. I heard rumors though.
I saw an interview with Jack Black, and the guy asked him, because I mean, he's really talented. Him and the other guy,
Kyle.
Was that his real name?
Yeah, I think so.
They're really talented. And he asked him, "Have you ever considered? Do you ever wish you had done real music? You know?"
Yeah.
And he said, "No, absolutely not." He said, He said what makes it so good. He said was like the creativity that he's able to.
Oh yeah.
To explore and stuff like that. And he said he doesn't regret. He said that they at one point he tried being part of a band and.
It just didn't.
Nobody cared about it. It was, yeah. But I didn't realize, was it called comedy rock?
Comedy rock.
I didn't realize that was a whole genre.
I mean, it not really is, but I would consider it to be one. And I think there's people out there who would say comedy rock is certainly a genre.
That we're talking about it, yeah.
No, this is just basically a subgenre of comedy in a sense. So if you just take all of comedy and make a subgenre for music, especially in the rock criteria, this is especially a Frank Zappa.
So give me a couple different bands then.
I would also say Ninja Sex Party or Starbomb.
It was a futuristic prehistoric throwdown, but it was quiet because in space there was no sound. Did we mention that this took place in space?
They're also one of those bands that they're YouTube famous. They got a lot of attention on YouTube. Same with Starbomb, where they are part of the band, but they're also teaming up with Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps and his Newgrounds Ego Raptor. I'd also say like the Ruddles, which is basically a Monty Python spin-off of the Beatles.
A Monty Python
It's Eric Idle of Monty Python.
Ooh.
Making fun of the Beatles, and it was like a short film and stuff.
Is there a lot of tie-in with like say YouTube and movies like mockumentaries? It seems like you got the Ruddles and you got
the Ruddles and
Spinal Tap,
but I don't see too much of
D.
that. I don't see too much of that on YouTube.
Pink Guy's music be considered?
I was honestly gonna mention Pink Guy and like Cal Chuchesta.
Yeah.
Under the. Now, not rock, they're kind of comedy rap and hip hop.
Comedy hip hop?
But I guess it could be put in the same genre of comedy music. But yeah, definitely Pink Guy and Cal Chuchesta would go under that.
Off the top of your head, what are all the comedy rock bands that you know?
Off the top of my head, I'd say Frank Zappa, The Motors of Invention, Ninja Sex Party, Starbomb, Tenacious D, Weird Al,
Okay.
Def Clock. We didn't even talk about them.
Death Clock.
Yeah, Def Clock.
Tell me about Death Clock.
They had an Adult Swim show, I believe, and the whole premise was there's a metal band, and they tried to get gigs and stuff. Flight of the Conchords.
Ooh,
And then some-
yes.
and-
See, there's another band that's tied in with a TV show.
Yeah,
Some kind
a lot of
like
TV show.
TV
Well,
shows,
the comedy part of it comes into the music. And I guess to lesser extents, you have bands like They Might Be Giants.
Okay. Is that,
To even like Bowling for Soup.
you're not the
You're
boss
not the boss
of
of
me
me.
now, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. The Malcolm in the Middle song.
It gives me more ideas of. Oh, never mind. Too dangerous over there. So, would you say that comedy rock is one of your favorite genres?
I'd put it up there. I'd put it up there with alternative rock and yeah. Oh.
Move.